Good morning, beautiful people. How are we all? Those who know me know I like stories and poetry and meditations. That the word went. Sometimes, and now there's a pigeon. Sometimes I'm easily distracted. Story. Okay. Once upon a time there lived, I'm not even going to edit that because that's just life, isn't it? There lived a beautiful little robin. Beautiful little robin. He was so tiny, tiny, tiny. He'd just been born out of his shell into this world, and he had a lovely family, and his parents were adoring. Anywho, one day when he was about 4 weeks old, no, he wasn't 4 weeks old because that's puppies. There's really some other channels interfering with me here, and there's that pigeon again. Story. When he wasn't about 4 weeks old. When he was quite small, but he wasn't ready to fall out of the nest. No siree. He fell out of the nest. And fall to the ground he did. And much as his mother and father tried, they just could not get him to fly. They couldn't get him to come back up to the nest, and they were so busy with his other brothers and sisters that they had to leave him there. So he had to find his own way. And amazingly, he did. He did. He grew, and he managed to figure out himself how to fly. And off he went, and he flew up into a tree. Now you would think that would be something to be really proud of. Amazing. But because the poor little robin missed out on bundles and bundles of love that he should have received, he was a sad robin. He was a sad robin and a little bit grumpy. So every day he would wake up, and having to learn from what the other robins did, he watched the other robins and thought, okay, so we get up and we tweet and we sing, and then we get our food from worms and grubs and things, so we use these flappy things to just dive down, get our food, and then come back to the branch. So he did this. Every day he would get up. Is everybody singing? Yes. And he would sing. But he would just sing blip, 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 dip, 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 dip. Chip, 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 chip. Is it sunset yet? No. Oh, there's a worm. Stretch out his wings, dive down, eat the worm, back to my branch. Got a little flap and shake, and then back into place. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Robins don't wear watches, but if he had a watch, he would have been doing that. Tweet, 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 tweet. Is it sunset yet? Not quite. Tweet, tweet. Oh yes, right, time for bed. Good night. And off he went. And he would follow that same pattern every day. Wake up, ruffle your feathers. Are they singing? Yep, off I go. Tweet, 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 tweet. Worm, wings, eat. Back on my branch, sit down, tweet, tweet. Is it sunset yet? Oh yes, time for bed. He would do that every day until eventually his singing became, instead of just tweet, 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 it was a more of a tweet, I can't swear just in case children hear this. Tweet, flipping cheat. Tweet, flipping tweet. 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 And he became quite an angry, grumpy Robin. And because of that, he had no friends. Nobody really wanted to spend any time with him. Because he was so grumpy all the time and so miserable and just so sad. And it's such a shame. Such a shame for Robin. Such a shame. But one morning, he did not wake up. Well, very out of the ordinary for Robin. He slept and he slept and he didn't wake up until it was just about sunset, by which time the birds were all finishing singing. So he woke up with a start. Oh, what time is it? What time is it? Are they singing yet? No, they're not singing. Oh, that orange thing is going down. That means I've got to go to bed. What's happened? What's happened to the day? Oh, I've slept. I've slept all day and I haven't sung and I haven't got up and ruffled my feathers and I haven't jumped off and eaten a worm and I haven't jumped back on and sung again like all the other robins. I haven't joined in and I haven't been part of the day and nothing's changed and everything looks the same and there's still my nest. Nothing's changed. Here is still my nest, here is still my tree, the sun is still setting and the sun is still going to rise in the morning when I can get up and sing. So when I get up in the morning, if I want to, I can sing. Oh my God! If I want to, I don't have to sing. I don't have to sing. I can just sit here and do absolutely nothing if I want. Or I can go down and get a worm. Or I can actually do what I like. I actually have a choice. Oh my goodness, this was a revelation for Robin. This is a revelation. Wow. Oh. That night he couldn't sleep. He felt so excited about. He didn't know. He didn't know what he felt excited about. Just the fact that he could choose what to do the next day. And he stayed awake all night. And then when he woke up in the morning, no, he didn't wake up because he hadn't been asleep. When he opened his eyes in the morning, he thought, oh, I have a choice. Do I feel like singing today? No? Not really. So he sat there and he watched the other birds and thought, that's quite nice singing. And he felt the breeze on his face and thought, oh, I've never noticed that breeze before, that's quite cooling. And he watched the sun and thought, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I never really noticed that before. Just because he had time for himself and he knew he had a choice. Everything felt different. Everything felt different. And so, the next morning when he woke up, he sat there and he looked at the others and they started singing. And he thought, a new day. I only get to live about 2 or 3 years. It's a new day. I get a new day. And he felt this little unusual feeling in his belly, like a warm custard whirling around in his belly, and sparkles, tingles in his wings, and something moving in his body, just this, I don't know, excitement, joy, happiness, is that happiness? Sure enough, this feeling in his belly moved up like a little slidey snake to his throat. And as it hit his throat, it took his breath away and he went like that. And he looked up at the beautiful sky, which he also hadn't noticed before. And when he took a breath out, the most beautiful song came out. He'd never heard himself sing like that before. Never, ever. And it felt amazing. It felt amazing, like there was space in his body. And there was so much space that he stretched out his arms. And instead of just dropping down to pick up a worm from the floor, he jumped off that branch in sheer delight flew. And he flew and he flew and he glided, and he didn't realise how much fun it could be flying. And all the robins saw him and they felt so happy. And the wind joined in, because the wind was so joyful and happy for him too. And so the robin, when he decided to go back to his nest, he felt so happy and elated. So happy to have finally found himself, his happy self, and he looked forward to waking up the next morning. So, always keep in mind, sometimes you may see sad or grumpy little robins. Sometimes they all have their little stories. Sometimes they just need a little smile from somebody, because being grumpy back to them only makes them feel more grumpy. So let's all smile and share smiles for all the little robins and all creatures. Have a beautiful day. I settled in the end. Much love.